Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed that extra hour of sleep they got because of daylight savings time. So I am sitting out here on a park bench just outside Washington, D.C. It's an absolutely beautiful day. I honestly could not have hoped for better weather. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's in the upper 50s, and look at all the fall foliage. It's just awesome. So I am heading out to avenge my DNF, or did not find, from yesterday's stream. I had to let it go yesterday after searching for it for a little over an hour on stream, walking my dog Teddy. I had to just sort of take the L, take the loss, log the DNF. There's no shame in having a DNF in geocaching, but I have a bit of a hard time letting go. So I'm going to start walking to that cache now and talk to you guys a little bit about what happened after I got off stream yesterday. So I did not bring Teddy today. I took him for a long walk earlier today so that he is not cooped up inside, but caching really isn't his thing. As I mentioned yesterday, if you have a hound dog, you sort of know how they follow their noses everywhere, so we want to follow the coordinates, not our noses. So yesterday, after I finished streaming, I went home, got on the geocaching site, logged the DNF, and I was sort of on Google Maps, sort of perusing around, looking at the location where we were yesterday and comparing it to the coordinates and going back through the activity log. This cache has been in place for about 2 years, so I was looking over 2 years of activity logs, seeing if I could get any hints or clues from what the past cachers who have found it said. And the strangest thing happened, strange in a good way. The cache owner reached out to me and said, hey, sorry you couldn't find the cache, I hope it's still there, do you need another hint? And I'm like, yes. As I mentioned yesterday on stream, the geocaching community is among the nicest and just friendliest communities when it comes to hobbies or groups that I'm a part of. A cache owner has never reached out to me before asking if I want extra help to find a cache, but I just think it was so nice that they offered that help. So I'm about it. I'm here for it. And after they gave me the extra hint, I felt like such an idiot. Yesterday, well, I'll talk about it more when I get to the cache because it will make more sense in context. But then, wait, I think we're at the street. Yes. So then, yesterday there was a streamer who found my stream, and his name is, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, John O'Tone. He's a streamer who streams metal detecting, and I watched like 2 hours of his metal detecting on his stream yesterday. It was so intriguing. You guys, you have to check him out because I never knew that I was interested in metal detecting until I started watching this stream yesterday. 2 hours went by. It's fascinating. Yeah, and just thanks you guys for welcoming me to the Twitch community. So this is my 8th day on Twitch. I started my channel exactly 1 week ago on Sunday, and I know that because that was the day that the Sox won the World Series. Go Red Sox. Do damage. This is the dog park I was going to bring Teddy to yesterday, but not today. Yeah, we could not have asked for a better day weather-wise to go caching. It's just gorgeous. Obviously, a couple days ago it was pouring. Hey, Hyperlink, what's up? Thanks for coming back for second day in a row. It was raining a couple days ago, and I was forced to stream from inside my apartment The sound was kind of warbly. I was trying to show how to log a trackable and generate a pocket query, so those videos are still up, but the quality is not the greatest, so, you know, you go to battle with the army you have, I suppose. But yeah, so as I mentioned, John's stream yesterday was so intriguing, so interesting, and I'm so glad that he found my stream, because that allowed me in turn to follow him back. Super interesting. I really like the idea of IRL streamers who are interested in nature, promote themes of nature, and that's what I would like for my stream to be as well. Because those are things that I'm passionate about. Those are things that the geocaching community are passionate about. Street smarts, you guys. Oh yeah, totally. Thanks for following me, man. And I mean man as in the colloquialism, not that I'm assuming anybody's gender. You guys, I could just stream all day me walking around my neighborhood, petting dogs. So yesterday when I was on stream, I kept saying, oh, the shop owner's got to be here because this cache is located right at the front corner of a store. And I'm like, if I didn't have Teddy, I'd just pop in there and ask the store owner for a hint, because I'm sure when you're a cache owner, you have to ask for permission to place a cache on someone's private property. I had to do it as a cache owner. Even on public property, you need permission, and you need to prove to the reviewer of your cache who's going to allow it to be published that you did in fact ask for permission. So I kept saying, oh, I'll just pop in and ask the shop owner for their permission, or for a hint rather. The store is closed, you guys. It's like been closed for a few months. It is dead and gone. So that being said, I'm super glad that the cache owner reached out to me with this super supportive nature, and was like, can I help you with a hint? Where do you think it was? And so now that I'm a little bit closer to the cache, I'll sort of explain to you guys what happened. So the cache hint, and not every cache has a hint. That's at the discretion of the cache owner if they want to give you a hint. The cache hint for this one that we're going for today, and we went for yesterday, was call Mario and Luigi if you need help. So what I picked up on in that hint was call. So I was looking on the telephone poles, and there are 4 telephone poles along the side of this building, this business that's now no longer a business. It's just a home to mice and squirrels now. And I was driving myself nuts triangulating the coordinates and applying my perception of the hint to this, and I was so focused on the second telephone pole. And at one point yesterday, I sort of said, like in The West Wing, if you watch The West Wing, there's a scene where Martin Sheen says to Rob Lowe, look at the whole board. So I knew at some point I was definitely in my head too much. I was definitely really too focused on these telephone poles that you could not convince me that wherever the hint was leading me was not to a telephone pole. Hold on, we gotta wait to cross this street. Street smarts. So there was nothing you could say to convince me that this cache was not located on a telephone pole. And looking through the activity logs, I was driving myself nuts because people kept talking about how it was the most creative cache they've ever seen, and hidden in a very creative location. So the part of the hint that I neglected was actually explained to me. That is the important part of the hint. call Mario and Luigi for help. This is why I'm so embarrassed, you guys. I just got back into Game Boy and I've been playing a lot of Super Mario Brothers, like a lot of Super Mario Brothers. So Mario and Luigi, there's no Italian store around, there's no Super Mario Brothers poster around. I didn't know what to do with this, so I focused on the call section. Okay, what the cache owner told me is, what they said was, focus on like the pipes, and if you see like a selection of bricks around the pipes, focus on that. You guys, I'm so embarrassed. Played the original Super Mario stuff. Okay, awesome. I've just been playing on this little Game Boy Advance SP that somehow has still survived all this time. So 1985, awesome. I was born in 94. So the part we were supposed to focus on was the pipes, of course. And now that the cache owner sort of gave me this second hint, I'm just hitting my head against the wall like, of course, the pipes, of course. Nah, you're not old, no way. So I went back and I watched yesterday's stream, which was still up on Twitch, it still is, and sure enough, there were 3 or 4 times where I had kicked over these bricks near pipes, and it was just like, it was right there, or I assume it's right there. We're gonna find out today. I did tell the cache owner that if it is truly gone, I will get back to them and let them know. If you're an old dude, that means that in 10 years I'm gonna be an old lady, and I can't have that, so no way. No one's old. The other thing I learned from yesterday's stream is this is a highly traversed area. There are a lot of muggles out. I tried to time this stream when the brunch hour would sort of be over. Not a lot of people would be coming out of church. So hopefully I timed this well. I have to swap into glasses. So as I learned yesterday, I can't really see that much in these sunglasses. So we're here, I'll show you guys. This is the full board, as it were. You can see that's the building that has since been abandoned. So the cache owner was super nice and told me that when I told them that based on the coordinates I was focusing right on this telephone pole here because it was right at the corner of this building, they said I was on the right path, but just to focus on the bricks and the pipes. So I have 2 guesses. We have a pile of bricks over here, but based on the hint about the pipes, I gotta see. Yeah, there's an ambulance coming, so we'll just hang out for a second. And there's a muggle over there, so just be cool. And now there are a lot of cars. All right. Stealth is key to geocaching. Absolutely key. Yeah, I'm right outside the DC area, hyperlink. Okay. Are you familiar with the DMV area? Yeah, I'm just outside DC. Okay. Low muggle traffic. Here are the bricks, and here's the pipe that we sort of touched on yesterday. If you go back to yesterday's, been there last year, yeah, awesome. It's a great area for tourists. Oh my gosh. There's a caterpillar in there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. It was a fake pipe, it looks like. It was propped like this to look like it was a part of the building. It's been painted to match the bricks in the building. And there's well, we call them fuzzy wuzzies. I don't know what they really are. But there's a pen in there. I'm not seeing a log. Oh, the caterpillar fell out. So I'm feeling like this is meant to be the cache, the pipe itself, which is really creative. I've never seen anything like that before. Oh, there it is. It says, I'll get some better light here. Geocache game piece, do not remove. Hell yeah. Look at that, you guys, we found it. I'm just looking for the log, something which to sign. I don't want to move these bricks around too much because I get the sense that they're not supposed to be moved. Oh, look at all those pill bugs. Don't want to disturb them. So, alright. This side down. Okay. There's a pen. That's great. But there's no log. I don't know what happened to it. I will write to the cache owner and just say, the log has been removed, or the actual pieces of the game have been removed. I don't want to dig through here too much because I don't want to disturb the pill bugs and the caterpillars that have made a home here. But I'll replace the pen. The pen tells me that there's supposed to be a log, but it could have been removed. So I'm going to pop this bad boy back. And then we'll put the pen back in here. That is so creative. I'm so glad now that we can log that as found. Okay. Caterpillars safe, pill bugs are safe, and best of luck to the next person who comes out to find this. There's a lot more garbage around today than there was yesterday. I wonder if someone has been through here and I'm not quite sure. But I'll write to the cache owner and let them know to replace the log. That's awesome. So, that was successful. I'm kind of feeling one more. What I can do is take you guys to one that is not too far away from here, and it's actually back towards the way that I came, and show you. We can go check on a trackable that I placed there. I picked the trackable up in Massachusetts and I dropped it off here not too long ago, and we can go see if it's still there. I haven't checked on it recently. I'm not following it, but yeah, let's go do that. I'm so glad I'll get to log that cache is now found. That's so creative. I never would have thought that it would just be a piece of pipe that was disguised to look like a part of the building. And of course, or I would hope you wouldn't try and mess with any parts of the building. That being said, for those of you who were watching yesterday, I did accidentally lift up part of an electrical box yesterday. I was definitely not supposed to be fidgeting with that. That's the game. So yeah, thanks to you guys who are watching today, helping me avenge my DNF. We can now successfully say that we've logged a smiley. And I say that because if you're on the geocaching website or on the app, when you find a cache, it puts a little yellow smiley face over where the cache that you found. So people will say in their logs, log this smiley today. And I'm definitely smiling because we were able to find this with all the help in the world from the cache owner, who was willing to provide me another hint. Again, I've never had that happen where a cache owner will be so kind as to reach out to you and say, hey, I hope the cache is still there. Do you want assistance or a second hint? And I needed it. I needed it bad. So if you are interested in geocaching or watching me stream, which is pretty much the only thing I do on stream is geocaching related stuff, definitely follow. I don't have my notifications enabled yet so that I can see who's followed me while I'm streaming. So if you have followed me since I started streaming today, or you followed me yesterday, thank you. Thank you so much. It's so encouraging to connect with other streamers and cachers, as I mentioned. This is only my 8th day having this channel. I just joined Twitch last Sunday. I had thought about starting a Twitch stream for geocaching sort of on and off for the past couple of weeks, and then honestly the Red Sox won the World Series last Sunday. I'm reading Hyperlink's comment. Perfect range gets triggered when I watch people stream on or around places I may have been before. Oh no, Thanks for your reassurance. No, I'm not afraid. I just haven't gotten into specifics because I figured not a lot of people have been to where I've been. Also, I am in Arlington, Virginia right now. It's when I say just outside of DC. So a lot of the caching I've been doing lately has been in Arlington or parts of Virginia or DC. I've been caching between New England and the Mid-Atlantic area for most of this year. I think what I don't want to have happen is if there are other cachers watching who are perhaps less honest in the game, I don't want anyone to log the cache as found if they haven't actually come out and found it themselves. That's just my preference. Maybe call it a little bit of paranoia. Oh, no way. What were you in Arlington for? So sorry, it's a little bit cold out, that's why my nose is running. So as I was saying, I have a lot of faith in the geocaching community, and for the most part, people play their game very honestly, but I would hate to divulge the exact location of a cache and have people log it when they didn't actually come out to find it. Maybe that's my own paranoia. Maybe people wouldn't do that, but I want to respect for the most part, the privacy of the cache owner who put a lot of time and effort into hiding this cache. And I only know this because I just started being a cache owner myself. Nope, I don't have a fear about stream sniping or anything like that. It's just I want to maintain the integrity of the game. Oh, let's see. Vacation, low budget road trip from New York City to Key West. Yeah, that would take you right through Virginia. Picked up a rental in DC. Nice. Yeah, so I have been going between New England and the Mid-Atlantic. So I'm back in New England about once a month, sometimes multiple times a month. And I love it up there. It's beautiful, especially in fall. The colors are just starting to turn here in the Mid-Atlantic area, but they've been turning for a few months, and they're just gorgeous up in New England, obviously, because it's just a wee bit colder up there. So I'm heading up to Boston later this week on Thursday, so I hope to be caching in and around Boston Thursday, Friday, and then through the weekend. But I will put that stream schedule up both on my channel homepage and on Please Keep Streaming and please stream Cherry Blossoms. Yes, absolutely. We're a little while off from Cherry Blossoms. They'll come out in March, April, but I hope to still be streaming then. I'll definitely be geocaching then. So I also put out the stream schedule for the week on Twitter. At least that's what I've been doing. My Twitter is @geocachinggal, the same name that I'm using here on Twitch. Some lady in the car just waved. I don't know her. I imagine it's a little bit conspicuous, me walking around with a little tripod, as I described yesterday. I actually broke my tripod on stream a few days ago. I was out caching, looking for a trackable, and I set my tripod down and I don't really know what happened. It's not an expensive one, it's not anything fancy, but set my tripod down and it just broke on me. So I have MacGyvered some solution right now to continue streaming with my phone and attached it like using duct tape to the skeleton of what was my tripod. It lived a good life. Oh, you're from Germany. Wie geht's? Ich habe für 8 Jahre Deutsch studiert. But I don't practice it anymore, so please don't test me. But I've been to Germany and I love it. I'll get back to that in a second. But yeah, so that's why I set up a PayPal, is just because in case anyone feels like donating at any time, I would really like to be able to get a new tripod so I don't have to MacGyver this filming setup. But, you know, as I said yesterday, I'll be streaming either way. So for those of you who are watching, hi, how's it going? We just avenged the DNF from yesterday, and now we're off to find a new cache. Not new to me, but another cache that I have not showed you on stream. And we're gonna go see if a trackable that I placed is still there. Yeah, so I was in Germany, how many years ago? 5 years ago now? Wow. Maybe it was 6. And I studied in Berlin and Trier, and by far it was one of my favorite international trips I've ever taken. Obviously I studied German for 8 years, so it was great to be able to practice out and about. Yeah. The geocaching community in Germany is really big. What? Cheers around the corner. Okay, well, my next question to you would be, where in Germany are you? But that's totally at your discretion if you want to share. I totally understand privacy concerns, as I was mentioning earlier, just wanting to be careful to respect the privacy of the caches and the cache owners where I'm showing these caches. Been to the States 3 times now. My biggest dream is to live there. Well, okay, the States is pretty big. I've been to the majority of the states, but not all of them. Where in the States would you live? That's my question for you, Hyperlink. But yeah, the geocaching community in Germany is massive. From what I can tell on the forums, a lot of the posts are written in German. A lot of the mega events just go nuts in Germany. I just went to my first event, a couple weeks ago, and met a couple of cachers. Just a couple. It was a small event, and I really liked it. Like I mentioned, the caching community is so friendly. Everyone's so nice. In their logs for the event, they were talking about how excited they were that it was my first event. I've been caching for 13 years on and off, but this is the first week of the stream. Or your viewers know your real name. My name is Mandy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely want to get to know more about other streamers and others in the Twitch community. I'm not a gamer personally, but I know that IRL streaming is only a small percentage of the Twitch community, and that it's really just skyrocketed to fame because of the gaming community. Oh, okay. 30 kilometers west of Cologne. Cool. No, I say Cologne, like K-O with an umlaut, L-N. I don't know if that's correct. That's just how I was taught. Okay. Well, I'm certainly enjoying it. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to flip the camera around because I have to blow my nose. So I do not want to show you guys that. Oh, it's right. Awesome. Thank you. So, man, look how beautiful it is. So for IRL streaming, last night was just my spirit was renewed, right? Because I had streamed for an hour and a half yesterday, and people were participating in chat, which was just so exciting for me. I was able to interact with people really for the first time since I've started streaming. Awesome. Then went home and watched John O'Tone's metal detecting cache for 2 hours, and blew me away how cool it was, how engaged the chat was. And then when he was done, he raided, is it Mythic Forge? Am I saying that right? And he's a beekeeper and blacksmith. Oh my gosh, you guys, I learned so much. So to me, I agree, IRL is like the best part, because I learned so much yesterday, and it totally was way better than turning on Netflix and just binging 3 hours of whatever show you'd watch. For me lately, that's been the newest season of House of Cards. Pretty close to the Airbnb I've stayed in. I wonder where you stayed. Apex Circle. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to get home and look at a map. But it's definitely a nice area. I mean, all of DC is just gorgeous. A lot of great history here. The architecture is wonderful. I love the free museums because you cannot beat free. Okay, let me see how close we are to this cache. I think we're only a couple streets away. The only way I know that is because in my neighborhood, the streets are named alphabetically. So if you're at an A street and you want to get to a D street, you know which way to walk because of the alphabet. Why does this look familiar? DC was a blast. Oh, I love your enthusiasm. The people, the history, the flair it had. Just amazed by it. Yeah, I really appreciate how friendly people are here and have been to me since I moved here now 2 years ago. I'm from Boston, and Boston people are friendly, but the cultures are completely different. It's in their own way. Yeah. Okay, we're one street away. Too many muggles out for my liking. No, but it's good because it's a beautiful day, absolutely gorgeous. Lots of falling leaves. I feel like we've been waiting for the leaves to change for about 6 weeks now, and then all of a sudden in one weekend, they've changed. Guy's running. I wonder what he's running from. No, he's probably just exercising. Okay, I see the cache where we're supposed to be. But there are muggles out. Like, a lot of muggles out. For those of you who aren't familiar with geocaching, muggles are obviously they're a non-witch or wizard in Harry Potter terms. But it's also a term for somebody who does not geocache. And if you're too conspicuous with a cache and too many people get interested, you run the risk of someone just taking the cache because they don't know what to do with it. So I want to be careful here. Remember, we're checking to see if the trackable is still there. Okay, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see. It's in there. I'm gonna walk down the street and turn back around so you guys can see the cache, because when I was looking for this cache for the very first time, what struck me about it is how it is in such plain sight. Alright, 1, 2, 3, pivot. Kind of overgrown. I guess you guys can't see it. Sorry for being misleading. I feel like I got your hopes up there. All right, perfectly conspicuous. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it. It is inside, against the wood pole between these two signs in here. And there is a car pulling up to the roundabout, so this is gonna go really well. Hi, how's it going? It looks like it's in a peanut butter container. That's like a Jiffy container or a Skippy container. All right. See, there it is. Let's get out of this circle here because I don't want to trample on any plants. As I've mentioned, one of the core tenets of geocaching is leaving your area better than you found it, and not hurting nature and picking up trash. Okay, I'm unscrewing this. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Oh, they just hung it. All right, you all. The trackable is gone. It is not there. We just have the log that's in a little film canister. So I've already been to this cache, so I'm not going to sign the log. I'm gonna head back after this car passes and hang up the cache again. I'm sure all of these folks who are now seeing this stranger in their neighborhood are gonna love to check this out after, so I really hope it doesn't get muggled. I'll just explain to them what I'm doing if they ask. Hyperlink. Outside big cities for sure, most likely Idaho/Cali, but closer to Oregon. Ooh, nice. I have been to Idaho, or out west, so Idaho, Wyoming, Montana. Just replacing that where I found it. I've been to out west for a long time. Ever since I was 12, I would go out west to a horseback ride. Never been to California, though, unless you count a stopover in LAX. Oh, we're here this year. Wow. You've been to the U.S. a lot. You said 3 times, but you've covered a lot of ground. So, yeah, Yellowstone is awesome. That's where they have the big, colorful, flip this back around, the big, colorful hot springs and the paint pots, which is just another kind of little hot spring. All the bison that are out there, just awesome. I spent a lot of time in Grand Teton National Park, which I highly recommend. It's another park that's just absolutely gorgeous. Great for horseback riding, great for hiking. The caches I've done out west have been mostly virtual or webcams. So the virtual caches are where you take a picture of yourself and post it online to prove that you found the log. A lot of times those virtuals can be found in areas where maybe the property owner would not approve you putting a film canister or a jar in an area. In a national park, that kind of makes sense. They want it preserved. So, and webcam caches. So the thing about virtuals I wanted to say is they pretty much stopped allowing new virtuals. Some cachers who were allowed special privileges between August of 2017 and August of 2018 were allowed to place new virtuals, but then that was it. So you can still find them, but they're not putting up new ones. So, you know, and then webcam caches are also pretty unique. And I did a really cool one in downtown Jackson, Wyoming, where they have the like elk antlers that the Boy Scouts put together in downtown, and right across the street they had a webcam that would take pictures of people downtown, post them online. And the purpose of webcam caches is you have to have the picture taken, then get online super fast. It's easier with phones now. And take like a screenshot or take a picture, or have a friend take a picture of your picture online, just a screen capture basically. And then you'd post that as proof that you found the log. So I am now just sort of out and about in my neighborhood. I'm thinking about where we should go next. It's a beautiful day and there aren't too many people out, so let's see. Gotta pull up the app. As I mentioned earlier, I don't have all of the notifications enabled, so if people are following me who are new to this stream, thank you very much. Just gotta find a place to sit down, and I have found a table. Awesome. So one of the things that I have not done in my geocaching game yet is a multi-cache. That's something that I would really love to do and sort of get into. Multi-cache being there are 2 or more caches that are placed using the same guidance or coordinates on one page for one log. So if you go online and you go to geocaching.com and you look and see any orange icons on geocaching.com, that means there's a multi-cache near you. So the coordinates for all the caches will be placed there, or you'll have to maybe solve a puzzle, although those puzzles are usually reserved for mystery caches. And you'll solve it, figure it out using the clues provided, and then you can go find the series of caches at those listed coordinates that you've discovered. I have not added multi-caching to my game yet. I'm sort of in this phase where I'm really interested in where trackables go, and those who place trackables, the trackable community within the geocaching community. But I'd like to get into mystery caches. I'd like to get into multi-caches, all things that I think I can add as a part of my game as I become a more skilled cacher. And obviously I'll have the help of the geocaching community, but also the Twitch community. Those are bots. There's a family of bots which joins every channel, just letting you know. Awesome. Thank you, Hyperlink, for your help. You've helped me a lot today and yesterday too, so shout out to Hyperlink. I really appreciate it. Get a metal detector. Seriously, after watching John's stream yesterday, I'm seriously considering it. How cool would it be? We know that no caches are buried like underground because it wouldn't get approved. You can't bury caches, so you know if you're out caching and you think a cache is buried that it's not a cache. But I was so intrigued by his finds yesterday. I really want to find out what that little button was that he found. Definitely going to follow up on that. Okay, cool. So there are 2 caches that as I walk along, these are ones that I found like a while ago, but I kind of want to, sometimes I'll just pop in, see if a cache is there just to check up on it. I can always look online and see if they've been logged as needing maintenance, or if they've been disappeared or muggled, and therefore they've been archived by either the cache owner or the by Groundspeak, the company, or geocaching.com. But let's take a look. I mean, what's the fun in looking them up online if we can do it on stream, right? We'll just go see. Use the legs we were given. Yeah, are there metal detector accounts on YouTube? I haven't looked into it that seriously. I've just been posting occasionally some of my videos that I've been putting it on Twitch, onto YouTube, under the same account name. An interesting thing about YouTube is you can't put videos up that are longer, or you can't upload videos from Twitch to YouTube if they're longer than 15 minutes. So I've been streaming for 45 minutes now. I can only upload 15-minute clips to YouTube. So you have to select either your most interesting 15 minutes or break it down into 3 separate videos. Yeah. Nugget Noggin. Okay. And that's a metal detecting YouTuber? Good metal detector. He does weekly. Okay, awesome. I'll definitely have to check that out and subscribe. Thank you so much for letting us know. I feel like there could be a lot of crossover between the geocaching and metal detecting. Would you say community? Fan base? I'm gonna flip this around so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I'm in an urban area. I've really liked urban caching. I like getting out and hiking, actually looking in the forest for caches, but because I'm in an urban area right now, I've been doing a lot of urban caches, which leads the way to a lot of really interesting micro caches. Hyperlink. You're coming in clutch with all the good knowledge. That's what I'll do. When I was first contemplating joining Twitch, something I thought about was, would going out and finding caches make good YouTube content? And I think, in short, my conclusion is yes, but there are a couple downsides to that. And there are a lot of geocaching YouTubers, so I know that they've found a way to work around this, but the attraction of Twitch to me, the real appeal, is being able to interface with you guys in live time. And if I'm posting a video to YouTube after I've already edited it, you're seeing what I'm doing after. That means I don't see your comments necessarily as I'm looking for the cache. There's a lot of video editing time that I would have to dedicate, and that's fine. I'm not opposed to putting the effort in, but I like the community sense of just being able to read your comments and respond live time. Yeah, I'll definitely have to follow Nugget Noggin when I get home. Okay, cool. So we're off to find, I'll show you guys, it looks like 2 micros. And if I remember correctly, they are at a bus stop. Both at, or bus stop signage. So let me flip this around for y'all. So difficulty 1.5, terrain is a 1, and micro is the size. So micro is the smallest size. Oh yeah, the pipe that we found earlier today was categorized as other, and that makes sense because it wasn't an actual container, so it was difficult to categorize what size it actually was. If you had to put a size on it, I'd say it was a small size. But the terrain tells us that because it's a 1.0 that it's going to be accessible via wheelchair. That's always a good hint for you if you're heading out to find a cache, is if you are looking in an area and you see that it's a 1, you know that wherever the cache is going to be, you have to be able to access it by a wheelchair. If it's a 1.5 or above, it's not accessible by a wheelchair. And just knowing that has helped me find many a cache where I'm like, is it street accessible? Is it kind of into this park area here? Yeah. And then difficulty 1.5, and the difficulty alludes to how long it should take you to find the cache. Here it says easy to find or solve within about 10 to 15 minutes, and those difficulty assessments are set out by the cache owner, but Groundspeak assesses that a 1.5 means that you can find it in about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's the first one we're going to find. And the next one, it's the same thing. Difficulty 1.5, terrain is a 1, so it's wheelchair accessible, and it's a micro size. So they're placed by the same cache owner, and because I don't know the cache owner personally, I don't know if he wants his information read out loud on Twitch, so yeah. Let's head off and find them. Yeah, I really wish I could bring my dog out here every time I go geocaching or every time I stream. adorable. If you watched yesterday on stream, his name is Teddy. He's a 3-year-old dachshund, or dachshund. Hyperlink, am I saying that properly? You gotta let me know. But he's sort of all over the sidewalk on the leash. I'm working on leash training with him. He follows his nose because he's a hound. He's trained to follow birds and squirrels, and particularly rabbits, which is how dachshunds are used to hunt. So he's sort of slows me down a little bit, which Dachshund, that can't be right. Dackel. Interesting. I never knew that. Huh. I always thought because they had H-U-N-D, which is German for like Hund, like hound, or dog. I always thought that it was... I'm gonna have to look that up. No, they're not hunting dogs in the traditional sense, but they are used to find, because they're long and narrow, they can get into like where wild rabbit holes are. They're not like a foxhound or a beagle that you might bring out to actually go hunt foxes. They have short little stubby legs. So I'll keep, sort of mentioning this throughout the stream that if you're a new follower, welcome. Or if you're just viewing for today, also welcome. I'm Mandy, and I have been geocaching for 13 years, on and off. So I started when for 11 years. And I started in 2007. I was 13. And it's sort of been on and off caching for me. I sort of forgot about it for a few years. And now I'm back into it.
Oh, sweet.
Cute, but a ton of energy. Yeah, my parents have a Chihuahua. Tons of energy. It thinks it defends the house. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. So if you live in the northeast of the country, you know that there was crazy wind last night. I saw it on John's stream last night. Just nuts wind. It actually took a massive tree down and put it in on top of one of my parents' cars, and through their garage. So it was wild to see this tree that's been there for, oh my gosh, I don't even know how long. It's massive. Probably a good, let's see if I can find one for a good size comparison. It's probably about twice the width and height of this tree here. And it came down on their garage last night. So if you're in the northeast part of the US, I hope you weathered the storm okay. So this is my first full week of streaming. I started my channel a week ago today, and whenever I'm going to stream, I've been putting out on Twitter at geocachinggal, the same name that I'm using here, but also on the homepage of my channel on Twitch. Okay, everyone practicing street smarts. Sorry about the wind in the AirPods. I know it can't be that pleasant. So I'm fairly confident that it is down here. Better have a lot of acres to have the dog. Who, me or my parents? I'm not sure who we're talking to about acreage, but I live in an apartment, but I take my dog out many, many times a day, as we saw yesterday. So So this is a sign. I'm pretty sure it was around here, but what I might have to do is pull up the cache log for hints. I thought it had something to do with, or is it over here? I'm working off of a memory that's like about a year and 6 months old. Yeah, my dachshund is a lot of fun. He's pretty young. He's 3 years old, but I've had him for a little over a year. He's adorable. I want to pull out my phone and look for this clue about the cache because apparently I don't remember where exactly it is. Oh yeah, a lot of running room. Yeah. We have a dog park right next to where I live, so he's out in the dog park a lot. Alright, so we are right on top of the cache according to the coordinates on my phone. It's a magnetic nano, so these caches used to be called nanos before they changed the verbiage to micro. It's to promote accessible caching, which I love. Bring your own pen, yes, of course. Cool. The hint is, and then a voice piped up, "What an attractive place." Well, I'm loving the fall foliage, but I don't think that's what they're talking about. So let's look back at this signage and see. Oh, a voice piped up. I get it. I don't know if you guys, I'm thinking. Is it under here? As we learned yesterday, sometimes you can get really thrown off by hints. So a voice piped up, "What an attractive place" is the hint that we're working with. I'm looking on the pipes, y'all. But these are pay to park signs. Let me see, pull the coordinates again. So it says that we are right on top of it. I really like our chances of finding it. But I feel like, and maybe this is the other one I'm thinking about. I thought it was something that was like right underneath sometimes they're tucked right underneath the signs on the metal pole. Following the coordinates to the T. Looks like it's going to be up here, either dead ahead or a little bit to our right. So let's I don't know if they put it on a fire hydrant. Not that they're not allowed to if they have permission, but I really feel like it's on this sign based off of the coordinates we're given. But I will hop around the other side of this fire hydrant just to take a peek. Whoop. Careful to not fall over. So the hint is, and then a voice piped up and said, "What an attractive place." So my interpretation of that could mean something having to do with pipes, but we also have this sign here, and then this electrical box over here. And I learned my lesson yesterday not to futz around with electrical boxes. That makes it sound like I got electrocuted. I did not. I just stuck my nose where it didn't belong yesterday looking for a cache on stream. Well, we can sort of see what some past people who have found it have said. I really feel like it's got to be on this sign, but as I learned yesterday, sometimes just your gut leads you astray. You think it's one way, and that's because you've convinced yourself it's in one place, and as it turns out, it is not. So it's really small from what the other photos look like. People are saying piece of cake. I remember it being pretty easy when I first found it a year and a half ago. All right. Based on the photos, I'm pretty confident it's over here. It could just be missing. I can write to the cache owner tonight and just say, "Hey, I tried to find this." Oh, nope, I found it. You guys see it? How tiny it is? That's a micro cache. And it is magnetic. That was really well disguised. They did a really good job. So I love these kinds. I brought my friend Bradley with me caching for the first time for her first cache a few weeks ago. And watch this. Sorry, this is again back to my tripod woes. I broke my tripod on stream, so I'm twisting this top off, and inside you can see that is the log. It's all furled up. If I were to take it out, it would just be one strand of paper, and you can see how people have written on it in pen that they brought themselves. The dates that they signed it and their usernames. And this is what the other half looks like. It's just a container to hold the log. So because I've already signed this log, I'm going to pop this back where I found it when this muggle passes by. So yeah, I love these kinds. They're great for metal park benches, which is where a lot of them have been found, and those are really inconspicuous because then you can just sit down, maybe reach under the bench and grab them. This one's pretty well rusted out, but it seems to have held up. I'm glad it's still there. I'm glad it wasn't taken. Also, I'm glad to have redeemed myself today for finding a cache on stream. Now that's 2 caches on stream. Or actually, I guess it's 3. So I've replaced it, coming at it, walking down the street. You would not know it's there unless you were looking for it. You guys, I'm so stoked about this. See, there's been a pretty involved conversation about dachshunds that I've missed, so sorry about that, folks. Okay, we're off to find the last cache that I was going to do on stream for a total of 4, you guys, 4. I love finding new caches, but I also don't mind showing you guys old caches of where I've been. Dry hands, yeah. I don't really know what to say about that. The air's sort of drying out here because of the change in seasons. Okay, let's well on our way. So this next one is the one that I remember being at a bus stop. Wheelchair accessible because this cache owner is promoting accessible caching, meaning that those who might be wheelchair bound are able to access the caches as well. So the terrain is listed as a 1 and the difficulty is a 1.5, meaning it should only take 10 to 15 minutes for us to find that cache. I don't know if anyone was timing that last bit, but it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes to find that cache that we just found. Gosh, I absolutely could not have wished for a more beautiful day. So the hint for this next cache, not that we need it, is lots of information here. If memory serves, I think that's pretty consistent with what I remember, it being a bus stop and being where all of the bus information is, like the bus schedule. That house over there, super decked out for Halloween. I love it. Doesn't matter that's a few days past the season. Honey badger don't care. So we're like a 2-minute walk away from this cache. So if you're thinking about planting a cache, one of the rules of being a cache owner is your cache has to be at least 0.1 miles or 528 feet away from all the caches in its radius. I don't know that person either. So you have to, when you're posting up the coordinates for your cache and submitting it to be reviewed, it is imperative that you're not trying to place it too close to another cache. What state am I in? I am in Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. A lot of my caching is between the New England states and states in the Mid-Atlantic. Later this week, I'm headed up to Boston. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I hope to be streaming, but I'll tweet or post it on my Twitch channel where or when exactly I'll be streaming. Okay, we got a muggle, but we're gonna here's a bus stop. This is a really good sign for me and my memory. So we're looking for a micro, same nano magnetic cache that we just found at the last location. And it's cool because we'll be able to hang out on this bus stop, or this bus bench. Okay. Lots of information here. Definitely on the right path. Taking a look at the back of the sign. I'm not seeing it. Doesn't mean it's not here. It just means I'm not seeing it. Okay, there it is. So I just reached up behind the bus stop sign, and there it is. It's kind of painted to match the color of the sign. So let's hang out on this bench and wait for these cars to pass because I'm sure they're wondering what I'm doing. And there it is. There's the log. It's balled up like a little piece of paper. And people have signed it with pen, the date they found it, and their username that they go by on geocaching.com. Let's screw this back up. Have I ever been to Vanadu Art House? I have not. What is it? Sorry guys, I gotta hang out here. There are kids coming up. So yeah, I will be back on stream later this week. Right now what I'm expecting is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, So basically the same times I streamed this week. But if that changes, if I'm streaming earlier or that sort of gets delayed, I will definitely let you guys know. But thank you to those of you who are new followers in the last couple of days, and thank you for those of you who are just viewing. I hope you come back. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and we've been really lucky with the weather. Really, really lucky that it's in the upper 50s. And it's just beautiful with the leaves turning. I'm just waiting till the muggle scene calms down. Yeah, I will definitely look into Vanadu Art House. I'm not familiar with it, but I will look into it. Okay, I think we're almost ready to put this back. It's really important that you put your caches back exactly where you found them, because that way the cache owner, if they need to do maintenance on it, can always come and replace the log. They don't have to spend time searching for it themselves. And we're gonna pop this back right where it was. People have to kind of reach for it, but that's okay. It's part of the fun, right? So I'm having a little bit of trouble. It's not magnetizing back to where it was. I don't know if it was magnetic elsewhere. Oh, this adds a new level of the game. Okay. I don't know what to do with that. Can always write to the cache owner and just say, hey, it was magnetic when I pulled it out, so I'm wondering if it magnetizes to something on the back here. Ah, there it is. So the cache itself was not magnetic. I know you guys can't see, but there is a magnet inside of the beam that it was just waiting to latch onto. So thanks you guys for coming out with me today. I hope to see you guys again soon on stream. Oh, the bus is actually coming. I'm probably wondering what the fuck I'm doing. All right, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, you guys.